All right. Okay, okay. All right. All right. Lockdown, quarantine.
Only two you're doing, sir?
Excuse me?
Craig, you
I,
did
I'm
only
clapping
two.
everything. I'm clapping everything down. No, I
Almost.
clap everything down. I clap everything down. I didn't know that I should use it. And okay, I use
No, man,
everything. I
I
was
was
using
just giving
everything.
you an opportunity to just kind of improvise something real quick with it.
Oh, we're
You
using
don't
one
have to
of
do it
these.
in the
Okay.
order.
Okay.
You can
Okay.
mix it up.
Okay. All right.
So go on
All right.
again.
All right. All right. Hand sanitizing.
Got the advanced one. Go on, sir.
All right. All right. There we go. Lockdown.
Uh, all right, I hear you clapping. I see you clapping, but the sound. All right, can I get the gist?
Okay.
Nice. So I'll
Yes.
take one more. I'll take one more. One more. Jermaine, look like you're in it. Go on, Jermaine.
All right. Start after call the words or just clap.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah, man.
I guess that was help.
Your sound went a while ago. What happened to the sound, Avery? What
No,
happened to the sound?
I think he was clapping help.
no, man. I did. I did around five.
So the sound for some. I don't know if that was the same for others, but
On the
for me,
sound went.
the sound went a little bit.
Yes,
Yeah,
his sound
again.
went.
Go on again, Jermaine. This time, say the words. Say the words while you're clapping, Jermaine. One more
Okay.
time. Go on.
All right. I'm gonna go again. Quarantine, pandemic, toilet paper, flattening the curve. Hold on. Flattening the curve.
All right. Thank you. All right. So I
Can
will
I try?
I will share this so you
Can
can
I
get your
make a
practice.
try? Can I get a try?
Also, that's that Donna. Go on,
Yes.
Donna. I'll take one more.
Lockdown, quarantine, pandemic. Lockdown, quarantine, pandemic.
All right. So Donna, why we see a ceiling?
Oh, maybe I hold me hold me stuff.
On the wall. All right, thank you. Thank you for participating. That was real good. And I found this on where did I find this thing? I think on Facebook or something. Some musician put it there that I created some rhythms. And I think that it's kind of useful that we can use in the classroom. It's also a nice compositional tool that we could use. And I mean you can create your own as usual. So you don't have to stay slave to what is there. You can create your own. And that's what we do in music. We're creating our own, right? So let's jump in. So today we're kind of looking at what is new with the syllabus, and so we can understand what is happening with the the competitions or the festival activities. So I'm checking your major scale. So we have a couple things that we should have for highlight. So those of you who should be familiar with your name major scale. So our first degree, an individual is allowed no more than one entry per category. So I mean, those of you who are regulars, you've been in the business how long? We know that you cannot have the same individual competing against his or herself. So it's one entry per category. Second thing, the scores for your set pieces must be adhered to. There's a reason why there's a score, and it's supposed to be your guide. Just like for the literature person, the novel is the stay true to the story, or the drama person stays true to the script. Same for music. We're using our score as our guide to the performance. Any change to the item must be confirmed with this very special lady that's on your screen with the nice black backdrop, Mrs. Ava Crooks Campbell. If you're doing any amendments to the score, say for example, you're dropping the key or you're raising the key to what is written to accommodate, then you would need to clear that and make sure it's okay before you go on stage. Because we don't like surprises. As much as we want surprises in the music, but not where these guidelines are concerned, right? So I want to stay true to that. The next thing is that for categories which require competitors to make their own choice, the titles of the selections must be indicated. So a lot of times I've been around the table to see that somebody's on stage, we don't know what the item is. There's no title. It's almost like a blank slate. So ensure that you fill out forms. And I know musicians don't like write. You know, like fill out form. It's true, you know. Sometimes I don't like it myself. But we have to do this. It's what we have to practice to do. And we have to make the example for, because we're music educators first. So everything that we're doing is catering to educating our students and make sure that they're staying true to what is expected of them. So they put on your titles, put on the names as well, and just fill out the form properly so we can be clear as to what is happening. Next thing is that all performers must be costumed, and we'll elaborate a little bit more on that later on. Seeing that usually I think elimination before that they didn't really have to do that up until a certain point, but given the change now, all the performers are supposed to be properly cladded for whatever item they are presenting. So they're staying true to the process, staying true to the item, staying true to what is intended by the composer. So and you know, punch up a performance, because what you have on as costume will highlight your performance. It's not supposed to take it over really, it's just to enhance it, because it's the music first. So we're catering to that as we go along, right? All songs must be sung with accompaniment. Let me say this again. All songs must be sung with accompaniment, which must be soundtracks only, as stipulated. These may not or have background vocals. So this is old news. Everybody should know this. Once you have an item on stage, so there must be an accompaniment. There must be an accompaniment. There must be some support system, whether a cordial instrument, or if they have a band or full band, it doesn't matter. But have some form of accompaniment, which also entails some form of introduction for the singer to be able to come in or something, right? So all of these are necessary. So if you're not the person, or you can't do the accompaniment, try to get somebody who can, or so make some arrangements so that your students can have proper accompaniment. So we do not want to put them at a disadvantage. They have a pretty voice, they have a beautiful arrangement, because no accompaniment. So their performance is flawed. We want to give them the best opportunity and the best possible chance for them to succeed, right? So make arrangements. There are tracks that you can get online. We have a big music community. Some persons you can call on, just come in and just record something real quick for the accompanying of that. So we want to ensure that we get that on the way, right? Next thing is that all entries must comply with the time limits. And this is another pet peeve, because we do not know the time that is allotted for each item or category. So here they are. For an instrumental solo, your time is 3 minutes maximum. So your maximum time is 3 minutes. You have 3 minutes to wow the judges on stage. 3 minutes. For drum solos, 2 minutes. And for your vocal solo, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And I think what I've seen over the years is that persons don't use time wisely. You cannot have 2 minutes and 30 seconds to wow somebody, and you have 30 seconds of intro or instrumental music. Or then you have two choruses, but we're not hearing the true voice until almost at the end of the performance. So in the end of the performance, she have a beautiful voice, or he has a beautiful voice, but the arrangement never went anywhere. So you want to use your 2 minutes and 30 seconds is like these big shows. And you know this X Factor, American Idol, America's Got Talent, all of them, Digital Rising Star. I probably should have mentioned Digital Rising Star first because that's what is home. But you have this short window that you have to present what you are bringing to the table. All right. So use the time wisely, time yourself, and time your students so they're used to that. They're used to the regiment of that within that time limit and what they would have to do. And that's why we have our rehearsal in place. All right. So those are so please stick through your timelines and also use the maximum. So you have 3 minutes and you do 1 minute. Use the time wisely. It's there. So we have to be careful with that. And the next one is classification is defined by age and a competitor must enter accordingly. So according to the student's age, they will be placed in the respective classes. And we have to be mindful of that as well. And our leading to our last thing is that you get a nice medal after you finish and comply with all of these things. So you have gold, silver, bronze, and merit. Nobody don't usually know what the merit is like. So most time, so when persons get the merit, is like a death sentence. I think the last time the persons didn't want to come and collect the merit. But it is high marks because gold, if you know the mark scheme, these marks are really high. So you have to adhere to that. I mean, much more practice, much more work put in will give you advantage in that. So I would encourage you to make the adjudicators' lives hard. So see a clear winner. You see everybody doing an explosive job, a marvelous performance. So that makes the job a little bit more. So running that. So let's jump over to the classes and what they look like. So for your class 1, that's age 6, and notice it said and under. So it's age 6 and under. Age 7 is not class 1. Age 7 is class 2. So class 2, 9 years and under. Class 3, 12 years and under. Class 4, 15 years and under. Class 5, 19 and under. And your class 6 would be your adults over 20. There have been instances where we've been at the table and we have to say, stop! How old are you? We don't want to do that. Pay attention to your class, pay attention to the ages, and put them in the correct class. So adhering to all of those, your class 1, your class 2, you're making sure that you have followed due process to do that and make it. So, we don't want to stop in the middle of a performance to do admin work. So it's almost like we're doing admin work. It's like, okay, let us check this with the rules. We want to ensure that our teachers have complied with the guidelines as set by the JCDC. And we're here just to enjoy and, enjoy the music experience of that is, right? So, yeah, if we bring all of that, then we should be good. I'm breaking this up. Coming up on the screen. There's a breaking news feature that this year their JCDC is sponsoring all the workshops, so you don't have to pay a thing to go to workshops. The JCDC is also sponsoring the solo entries, so you don't have to pay a thing. Workshops are free, entries are free, medals will be free as well. So we get for the medals and get it going. Yeah. So all of these are sponsored. So take the opportunity of coming to the workshops. We have to fight. Persons come to the competitions, and I might be speaking to the converted. that persons come to and they don't know the rules. They don't know what is required. They come on stage. We have to say, all right, come back. I've been a little bit lenient. Say, come work with this and come back. We take the item later. We want to ensure that people come to the workshop that is available. We're in a virtual space now, so content is readily available. If you did not make this workshop, I'm sure the JCD has provided other forums such as YouTube and Facebook for you to access this content and encourage others. If you are within the circle of persons who, naturally they don't understand and please share and help us along the way. Let it not be that, no, my style is over here and I want all the medals, so I can't help you. We're not in that type of a space. We want to help and build each other within our small music community, share our ideas, share what works for us. Because mark you, my style, if I share my style with yours, with you, you will not be able to use it within your context. So you would have to take what I have and tweak it to suit your situation. That's not like teaching, don't. That's what it is. Education. We share the information, what works for you. I say, okay, let me tweak this for the students that I work with and make it happen. Yes, so we're here to help. So share the information, help persons along the way. And if you don't understand, please do not be shy to ask. If you don't understand something, ask. Let it be said that you ask and you tried. Instead of just coming and say, boy, I never really know, so I never really bother ask. We're not about that. Positive movement and information sharing and learning, because that's the space we're in. And education is power. And that power gives us gold medals and trips around the world and probably trips to Canada. So we get an opportunity like the feline. No, feline, sorry. The canines. Right, so yeah, and that is there. And take us to the next thing, adjudication process. Oh my gosh, what a reign of terror. I think that sometimes adjudication, I think the word of martial law are just people trying to fight against you. But that's not how it is. What we're doing as a panel, as adjudicators, is that we want to offer quality assurance, but to ensure that the process is every possible option for you to excel has been looked over. And that's why we are there. Usually there are 2 or 3 of us, and we deliberate amongst ourselves and so what is on your screen is the 4 main areas that I look at from the music perspective. That is music technique, interpretation, present. And if you notice, they're in a spiral. So it's not like a linear thing. These things are constant projects. The music is not. I did a minute of that. I can leave that alone. I did a little interpretation here. So I leave that alone. I have a little presentation to enter, and I have a little presentation to exit. So I leave it alone. It doesn't work like that. That's why we have what we call circle of music and the circle of life to build. Because music constantly considers everything else.
Just to interrupt you briefly, Mr. Silpot.
Yeah.
The background sound is drowning your voice, and we want to hear
it
what
is?
you're saying. Yes.
Okay. Right. So we have to say all I want me to say again?
Very briefly, yes. Please.
Right. So I'm saying that all of these areas, these 4 areas, they're cyclic. So they're not linear. So they're not in isolation of each other. So your musicianship, your technique, interpretation, and presentation, they walk right hand in hand. That's why we have it like that. So we have to always be considering these things while we are on stage. And, we can model them for our students. Because a lot of times we tell students, they say, okay, this is what we want, do this, do that, do that. But there's no modeling process. And some may have been doing it within their spaces, but I think that it's super, even more rewarding when the students have a modeling from the teacher. So they see firsthand what it's supposed to look like, what it's supposed to sound like, that type of thing. So make it a little bit easier. The life makes it easier on you. All right, so that's what we're looking for as an adjudication panel. These four things. So we're going to zone in a little bit more on them. So for the instrumental stage at the parish level, and if you notice the mark schemes are different, parish compared to national. And again, this might be reiterating for some who know already. So in musicianship, we're looking at pitch, rhythm, dynamics, phrasing, tempo. So those things are contributing to that. The next one, technique, we're looking at tone quality, breath control, playing skills. Interpretation, we're looking at arrangement, execution, and style. And for the presentation, we're looking at costuming, overall impact. So if we look at the grade schemes at the parish level, we're looking at a total of 100 points for them to get from these four areas as compared to the national level, which is 50. And I guess it's a little bit less because you'd have gone through the rigorous stage already of parish and excelled, and they were now at national. So it's a little bit less to work with in terms of figures. But look at 30 going to musicianship, 25 going to technique, 30 going to interpretation, 15 going to presentation. You know, I never understood the whole idea of like responding to essay questions and that type of thing, and short essays, until somebody had said to me, look at the weighting of the mark and you know how much to write. Because I'm going to probably write 2 sentences when the thing worth 15 or 20 marks. So those 2 sentences cannot make up 15 marks. So if we look on the weighting of what is required, musicianship, things such as pitch, rhythm, those key things have to be there. And it's almost like they cannot. So, and there's another thing too. You practice so you can get it right. But how about this? Practice so you cannot get it wrong. So you practice enough so you cannot get it wrong, none at all. You say, no, I know this is supposed to be within this key. I know that this rhythm is supposed to happen here. And that's why we practice, you know? So pay attention to these. So that's for your instrumental. So these are the marks for your piano, string, or wind, and pan. So this sheet that we have on screen. The next one for drumming. So we have same things, musically technical things. So if you notice now, we have 30 going there. For musicality, technique is 25, arrangement is 30 again, and so on. So we have these as guide, and consult your book, your handbook as well. So you are always aware of what is happening there. And I'm sure Mrs. Crooks can be ably assist in giving you information. That's what we do. We give you the information so we can excel.
Still waiting.
Yeah? You still wait?
Still waiting.
You're still waiting?
Yes.
For what? The information?
No, for the syllabus.
Oh, Mrs. Campbell?
Yes, I announced earlier, maybe you weren't here yet. We had a technical difficulty that prevented us from retrieving all the messages in the chat on Tuesday. So I was unable to respond to everybody. So I trust that you are all back here, even though I'm looking at from 100 to now 54. It means that some persons are not here, but it won't be very difficult. We will try to get that information through our parish offices just to find out all the persons who were here. All right, so apologies for that. I'm sure you have put in your name and email address again today, and we have ensured that we will be able to retrieve it. So you will get the required documents.
Okay.
Great. Yeah. Thanks for that.
Morning.
And reach out if again, reach out if you don't have the information. Still reach out. I know everybody has Avery's contact, so you can reach out to her. And you can reach out to me as well, and I can send it across. Those of you who know me, and those of you who don't can reach out just the same. All right, let's just change our positions. It's time for us to take a 1 minute breathing spot from all this information. So I want you to change your positions to a standing position, and please to turn on the camera. Putting something on the screen. Those of you who know me and this activity. So all we're going to do is do what we're seeing on the screen. We're doing 1 minute of it. So I'm giving you 10 seconds to look at it. And then we're doing it 1 minute. So notice all done a screen dark. Calvin screen dark. All right. Everybody ready? Come. So we're doing that. Do a clap and stamp as we go along. I'll bring you in. You ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, let's go. You made it? You made it? We do it one more time. And then when we get to the end, we're going to reverse order. Do it one more time. So those of you can see when I will call out what you're supposed to be doing at the time. So you can do it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, let's go. And stop, 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 all right. Everybody made it? Everybody made it? Talk to truth, you know. I know there's someone who easy.
I made it.
You did it. You made it, Bishop.
Yes, man.
All right. Nice. So that was our little 1 minute break from the information. Nice. All right. So, takes us then to the categories that we're working with within the music competitions. And we're aware of them already. But let's just highlight again. So, one, for instrumental categories, we have piano. And the requirement is that you're supposed to have 2 contrasting pieces. Important. Once you're doing piano, you're supposed to have 2 contrasting pieces from any standard graded piano work, and then your scores have to be submitted, of course. So 2 contrasting pieces. The same is true for wind solo. 2 contrasting pieces. One must be from our own genre. So one must be Jamaican. The other one can be whatever you want it to be. But again, score is only required for the non-Jamaican. So if it's something like from an ABRSM, something from any Western art area, or jazz, for example, or anything. So you need to have those scores submitted. Why we need to have the scores submitted? Anyone?
So the adjudicators can see exactly what it is that you're doing.
Yes, because our adjudicators training did not have mind reading or those type of powers that we can see what is going on in your head. So we need something that we can refer to, something that we can look at the music and follow to what you're playing. And that's how we have it. All right. The next thing for string instruments or string solos, for all classes, you have 2 contrasting pieces again. One must be from Jamaican, and the score is required for the non-Jamaican. Simple things that we must adhere to. Those of us who are interested in pan music or do or teach pan music, same thing. 2 contrasting pieces, no score is required, right? So one must be Jamaican. So if you notice, all of these instrumental areas must have 2 DOS pieces every time. So there have been quite a few times a person has come on stage and we hear one piece and we're listening for the other one and we just see the person has make their way off the stage. They said, no, no, you have to get another one. So make sure that you have the two pieces ready. Record a solo, two pieces again. One must be Jamaican genre. Score is required only for non-Jamaicans. The same thing going across. Instrumental own choice. Now this one here, to stop to kind of zone in on it a little bit, there must be a presentation of one piece on the piano or keyboard with a string instrument of choice. Performer should display advanced technical competence and mastery. So this is important. If it's an own choice, that means that you're not normal somebody. That should mean that you're going to show some skills that is not a 1-4-5, a one plong plong arpeggiated type of thing. No simple things. So this person must be having those skills, improvisational things, all of those. So you have to be careful when you go into this particular category, because once it doesn't meet standard, you can't do anything about it. So it's actually supposed to show that you are very competent, you're masterful on the instrument, and that's what we're looking for at this own choice instrumental. All right? So notice wind, string, piano, keyboard, that type of thing. Right? For the vocal categories, so we have vocal sacred music solos, and that is supposed to be one song. You're supposed to choose pieces from any standard graded source, so that includes your ABRSM, Trinity, any of those exams that you can use. And the score must be presented. For your vocal classical or semi-classical solos, one song again supposed to be presented. Choose pieces, the same thing from these graded scores, so we can have these scores to assess. And what's the time limit again for vocal solo?
2 minutes and 1.5
Minutes.
2 minutes and 30 seconds, or 2.5 minutes. Yep. Vocal spiritual solos, one song of choice in this genre. No score is required, because you're at liberty for spirituals to interpret. So there's no score required, but one song. Same for gospel, and the same for Jamaican popular and modern. Now, what is important about the Jamaica popular and modern is that the pieces should be appropriate for the person performing. So there's some instances that there's some music that is popular in our music scene, but it's not appropriate for, like, say for example, a class 1 or class 2. So I mean, songs that talk about heartbreak and love and these type of things. Where these little people know about these things, and how will they be able to interpret? So people come and say, no, he has a nice voice and he can sing. Yes, but choose songs that are appropriate for the age of the child. So we have to be mindful of that. Choosing our repertoire that is appropriate. If you're not sure, please check with the music specialist before you present it on stage or present it virtually. Right? There was a question?
Mr. Silpot.
Yes.
Yes, I'm Mr. Rachi. I just came on like about 5 minutes ago. I was not able to come on, so I'm not sure where we are and if the question and answer part has passed already. I'm not sure.
We don't reach yet. We don't reach it yet.
We don't reach it. All right, good.
No, we don't reach
I
it.
have some questions I want to ask. All right, thank
Come
you.
on. We soon get there. So
Okay.
DJ or sing J solo, again, one item, and it may be original or an existing piece recorded by a Jamaican artist. Again, the flag on this particular category is that be careful of the lyrics, and also if it's an original, these lyrics should be submitted. A lot of times, both ourselves as adjudicators and the teachers are surprised at the same time, which that should not be the case on the part of the teacher. The teacher should be aware of the item and the lyrics. We have to pull some things up and say, no, that can't be at this stage. So check the lyrics, ensure that they're clean lyrics, that they're presenting, and with the other things, right? So it doesn't have to be. I mean, the lyrics, if it's an original, also check the lyrics as well if it's one that's popular. So we want to ensure that we clear all of those possible disasters. All right. Jazz and blues solo, one song of choice, and it should be appropriate to the age group again. For the folk singing, so you can have either a song or medley of songs included there for that particular category. For trad folk, one song or medley of songs most correctly represent the selected folk form and no for what was it again, Avery, that there's no trad folk this year? No solos of trad folk.
No, the traditional folk forms competition is
Oh yes.
postponed for this year.
Right, right. So that
There
is
is
up,
a
right.
right, but there is an aspect of trad folk that we have in music
Right.
that we are accommodating because we are just doing singing. They would have been doing dancing, and their
Right. So that the
items are
quadrille
all
and
folk
all of those. Right.
items.
Okay.
Right.
Good. Right. So song from musicals and Jamaican and others. Again, one song or medley of songs. And for the solo instruments such as drum solos and trap set, the drummer should be demonstrating rhythmic skills and utilizing standard genres in a creative arrangement. And again, remember that is 2 minutes that they have to work with for that solo. So ensure that they're within the time or get up to that time. Usually say probably two or three rhythms at least should be present or should be identified. Right. So before COVID, we were all enjoying the ambience of everything happening together on the stage and in the space of the auditor and the threshold and everything. But with that, of course, we have to change. And with the whole mantra of staying at home. So that calls for more exploration on the virtual space. And a lot of our educators don't like cameras or don't like the process of going through and recording and editing, that type of thing. So now is the perfect time as any to get used to it and start doing that type of thing. Because I mean, quite frankly, the virtual learning is the new normal, whether we want to admit it or not. And I mean, we've been seeing the news, we've been trying to go within the space of the physical space, and every time, usually probably 90% of that happening offers a spike. So we are trying to accommodate the virtual learning and try to encourage, even if you don't like it. I mean, we are performers, go through the motions, enjoy it for the process, and then probably ball after that type of thing. Because I have my share of it. This is probably my fourth meeting from morning virtually, so we just have to just work with it and work with the process of it. So yeah, performance live is no more for now, but we are now at this particular point of seeing performances virtually. So we just have to work with it, encourage each other, and try to enjoy the process of it. And look at it as a learning aspect of your career. So you go on and learn a new aspect of it, of education. And sometimes we say we don't have the time, but probably we can take a small amount of time daily, probably 5-10 minutes, without to spend hours. Those of us maybe technically savvy would spend hours in front of the screen trying to get things and how they work and that type of thing. But go at your own pace and just try to get at least a rhythm going. No pun intended, well, probably there's a pun intended. Get your rhythm going so you can, get better at it. So the more you practice, is the more you get better at it. So I'm encouraging you to kind of embrace this normal of video and performance that is virtual, so we can make it work. So pushing for the music. All right, so I'm almost there. Just I thought you guys, Avery, you had mentioned tips and strategies on videos already. And
Yes, they got that on Tuesday. We went through that
so I
on
don't
Tuesday.
need to do that. So I don't
So
need
we
to
Yes,
can
do
you
it.
do
go.
I'm already
recap.
Only for the ones who weren't.
Yes,
who
yes,
weren't-
you may
Yes.
get big. I
Yes,
just
guys,
cannot
in
fit
the
it.
interest of time, you can catch that on Facebook.
Yes.
All
Okay.
right.
Right.
And we're going to have
Yeah.
another workshop 1 tomorrow. So you can jump in tomorrow again at 10. All right. We want to take your questions now and say a big thank you to Mr.
Thank you so much.
Silpot.
All right. So we're
Thank you,
in the
Mr.
question and
Silpot.
answer session now.
All right. Please utilize the emoji to raise your hands and so on, so we can have it going in an orderly manner.
I see there's one from Jermaine.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Jermaine.
All right. So as far as the entry form is concerned, well, we have to go in to get the entry form, or we can do it online and submit it online.
All right. What we are doing is setting up the online platform for your entry. So you can just go online and send in your entries. However, because we are still in the early stages, we still have the pen and paper at the parish offices. We still have that in place. So we are hoping that we can do it strictly online, but we have the pen and paper as the backup. All right, we are set to start on the 29th, which is not very long from now. And we are hoping that everything will be all green, ready to go for the online platform. But just in case there are any hitches, glitches, then 29th of March, this month, in case there are any hitches and glitches, then our parish offices will be ready to accommodate us with the pen and paper. But you stay tuned to our social media pages. We will keep you informed.
Okay. Number 2, will we get will we get a chance to watch the adjudication process of the performances?
Unfortunately, no.
No.
Unfortunately, no. That will be in a space with the 3 adjudicators, and they will watch the videos just like that picture that Matthew had put up just now.
Mm-hmm.
We will have representatives from the parish office, and I may be there for most of them. And we will have that going in that manner, but we cannot accommodate persons watching the items. That is going to be difficult. So you have to trust us.
Number 3, can I get an idea when is national finals?
Well, it should be
Parish.
somewhere. We cannot give you a specific date as yet because
What's the idea?
a number of things depend on it. All right. We open entries on the 29th of March. We close on the 29th of April. So we're going to have our parish finals in May. All right, so we are looking at roughly around June for national finals, roughly. We don't have a set date because it depends on how many items, how many entries come in, how many entries per parish and so on, because all the parishes have to be finished. It's possible though that we will get through quite quickly because of the new platform. All right, so the adjudicators will be watching videos rather than seeing individuals coming in live. So that may be a smoother process. It may take less time. We are looking at it to take less time. So we should get through in roughly a month.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let me give somebody a chance.
Yes, please.
Yeah. All right. Miss Avery.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, this question is from Mr. Silpot.
Yes.
Right? What I really want to find out. Right. I'm recording. I'm Mr. Ratchet from Portman Missionary.
Yeah, man.
Right. So what I really want to find out is how do we as music teachers distinguish the different genres in Jamaica, especially for reggae? I want to understand that clearly because I think there are a lot of gray areas where reggae music is concerned. So how do
I
we
mean, to
identify?
distinguish popular from dancehall, from rocksteady, that type of thing.
Right, right.
Well,
So
we would
how do
know
we
as
Mhm.
go ahead.
Go ahead, sorry. Come on,
I'm
go
saying
ahead.
that we would know in terms of the artists that are over the years. So then, for example, Beres. Barry Salmon could be easily dubbed as a pop or Freddie McGregor. Those being within the pop genres. But if you're
Mm-hmm.
going like hardcore reggae, like Chronix, any of those would be like reggae or dancehall vibe would be. I mean, you would know these. So it's really
No,
to
I mean,
distinguish.
no man, I know the genres, because
Mhm,
it's out there, it's on Wikipedia, it's on Google, it's on a lot of platforms as to our
mhm,
genres, right?
mhm,
Reggae, rocksteady, ska, mento, and the rest. You understand? But
mhm,
for instance, we had a competition recently, which is the Ministry of Education and the Fantana competition, right? And they
mhm,
gave the outline as to what they are requesting and also their rubrics that they will be marking on. And
mhm.
when I see a person do a song, remix a song, which is Coffee Lockdown, and win the competition, and that was what was asked. So it confuses me now because that's not a reggae song. Coffee might
Well, I
put in
mean,
herself as a reggae artist, but the song that she does is not a reggae song. So how is it that that song would win the category, the reggae?
well, yes, for that particular competition that you're speaking to, probably can speak on that outside of this. But each competition, I guess, would have their own requirements and processes. So, like what we're outlining here in terms of the JCDC, what the requirements are, they will know how to follow through with those. If there's, I know for that reason, for that particular competition, there were a number of other areas that were being considered. It was not just music.
Well, I know
It
it
was
was not just
just
music, but
right. It was also performing arts,
the
right?
main emphasis was reggae music, right? Because it was reggae month. So that was the
But
main emphasis.
it was based on the theme of Jamaica. We can speak outside of on it.
All right.
But
So
based on
Because
the theme of
one
Jamaica
other
Day.
thing, the thing
Mm-hmm.
that really worries me now is that we as teachers, all right, well, even from I was in high school coming up, I was
Mm-hmm.
taught the difference between these genres, and I carry that even when I went to Edna Manley, Ibo Cooper was always driving in our heads the difference between the genres based on the beat, the drum and bass, and all of that thing, yada yada yada, right? Once you hear a reggae music, you know it's a reggae because of the beat, right? If you hear R&B, rock, hip hop, whatever genre, is basically the beat that really distinguish the genre. You understand? But in Jamaica, based on what I observe, is like once you come from Jamaica, no matter where you sing, them call it reggae, which confuses because when you're in the classroom and you're teaching and you do your lesson plan according to the syllabus and you're teaching the students, when you teach them one thing, is a totally different thing the industry is doing. So I just
Well,
feel confused. It does make sense with
we
all
as
right, this is
practitioners
reggae, and then
cannot be
when they hear
confused, Ratchery. We cannot be confused as
no,
practitioners
but
who are in the field. So it's our job to educate as we go along. So and then based on what we're doing, you have to understand what is being required of whatever competition at the time. Or what are the considering factors. But we can speak on it outside of this meeting.
If
okay, okay,
I'd like to just
all right.
add that, we have seen this sort of controversy before,
Mm-hmm.
and it is unfortunate, but as Matthew says, we who know better, we have to iron it out. We have to iron it out. A
Yeah.
lot of persons who are not from Jamaica will just view everything, every music
Right.
form coming
And
out of
that is
Jamaica
the
as
idea.
reggae.
One umbrella.
They just basically call it reggae or ska. They just put everything there. Say if it's
But
not reggae, it's ska.
but
Right?
then
But
Miss
we have to
Miss
teach our students differently. We have to ensure that we make it clear because there are plain elements to say what it is and what it is not.
so while I agree with you, Miss Cooks, I agree with you 100%. But what I'm not seeing basically over the years is like an actual platform from Jamaica Forum that persons who are on the outer world can go and say, oh, this is the authentic information for what our genres are. Basically, what I'm seeing, when I go on the internet and research, is international forums basically doing research. I don't know where they gather the information from and put it on the internet and telling us what we have. But I am yet to see anything on the platform. Probably I'm not looking good enough, but anything out there that we write on the internet. There's not hardly anything for Jamaica. We hardly even have lyrics for our songs that are published. So I mean, we're struggling.
This is true.
We're really struggling because it makes no sense. It's good that teachers are teaching it in the school system and it edifying the students of the roots and where reggae music derives from and all the other genres that are, and distinguish the difference between the different genres and all of that. But at the end of the day, if we are not putting it on a global platform for the world to see and know, and whenever they would have written any article anywhere around the world, it should have come from information that they would have gotten from us, rather than they get some random information or whatever, and based on the study of Bob Marley and just put it out. That's why it's very hard for them to distinguish what the genres are. Hence why when Grammy comes around, Coffee would win a reggae album with 90% of her songs on the album is crossover and hip hop and all of that. It's not reggae music. You understand? So that's the confusion. So when we're teaching the students one thing, when we're teaching the students one thing, other persons are saying, but that's a foolishness because Coffee sing like no gonna win this, and you understand? A reggae, so that's reggae. No, that's not reggae. So we need to highlight, or the persons in the Ministry of Education need to highlight these things and put it up there, put it out there. And also another concern of mine is actually the syllabus that is there for the primary school. And that's, and I personally think some of the things in that syllabus need to be looked at because those music are deep. And the thing about it is that there's no basis from the early stages of the children, like from grade 1 up. There's no syllabus for grade 1 to grade 3. So when they reach grade 4 and they start doing these technical things, you understand that the syllabus requires as it relates to reading, the staff and knowing the different notes and the value and the rest and all of those things. That would be clueless. You understand? Because there was no basic training for them coming up.
Aspect, Rotary, is something that I could address outside of this. So we can arrange that. We can talk about it. But the point is saying in terms of getting forums out there, getting conversations going in terms of our own music, collaboration with the JCDC and the Jaria community in terms of setting up the future. So good points, all noted.
Also involve the teachers too, because we're the ones who are passing on information to the students.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Yeah, man, but that's basically all
about the teachers. Yeah, man. Thank you for those.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Can I?
Craig,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes. Yes. There's a question I need to ask. Well spoke, Mr. Ratchik. Those are something that I was looking on for years. When I really look on the everything. Yes. One question I need to ask. Last year I entered a gospel piece. And I want to know what you use to determine what is gospel. Is it that the piece that we're doing, the person have to be a Christian for it to be gospel? And the reason why I asked, I entered a piece last year. The person who did the song was an R&B singer. When I entered it, the adjudicators told me that they can't grade it because it doesn't fall in that category. So I was saying to myself, I asked the question last week. I've been waiting for this all of last year to ask this question. What makes the song gospel? Is it the person who does the song, or is it the lyrical content that makes it gospel?
Interesting question.
All right, let me take that up. Gospel is another controversial area, but within the JCDC syllabus, we recognize that there are various music genres that utilize lyrics that would make the song be called gospel.
Yes.
And so there is gospel R&B, there is gospel soca, there is gospel reggae, and the list goes on. Now, we are not going to throw out any of those. However, I don't know what it is that your item was marked down for.
What happened is that when the young miss was doing it, the adjudicator said they don't know that artist, the name of the artist. So they went online, researched the artist, and when they realized it was an R&B artist, they said nothing more to me. Other than when I was leaving, I was saying to myself, don't get that score on that piece. And when I check it, they didn't even score it. They put it aside and said that they're not going to think. And I'm saying, what makes it
was
gospel?
It a gospel song? Was it a gospel song?
Yeah, that's why I chose it, because it was all about Christ. Yeah, it was Christ. I don't remember what it's something about Christ lifting me up or something around that. But the person who did it was an R&B singer who did the thing.
Right. It doesn't matter. It should not matter if it's an R&B singer.
Well, I was wondering. Okay, because I was wondering, it's because when they went and researched the name, because the name of the artist was unusual for someone that they didn't know, and they went and researched it because one adjudicator said that.
So who is that? Who is the
I don't remember. I don't
artist?
remember. I tell you the honest truth, I don't remember the name because I had.
You have to remember and share.
All right,
that
I'm going to try and find the sheet. I'm going to see if I find it. I'm going to try and see if I find it here, and then. Because I'm not at school, so I'm going to try and see if I find it here, and then I'll send the name to you
and share the information with me.
Okay.
And I want to say I want to say when you have these issues, there is an avenue for questioning and respectfully challenging whatever it is.
I was planning on doing it, and then the same time COVID came and locked down everything, and then it slipped me, and then I said that when I heard about the workshop, because I was speaking to my coworkers last month, and I was saying to them, I need to take this up because I need to find out what makes the song gospel. So yes. I'm going to find.
It's really the lyrics.
Okay.
It's really the lyrics.
Okay, then. Thank you.
Next person, quickly.
Germany, your hand still up, or you never take it down? And Craig, they have their hands up.
Who is next?
I never took it down, you know.
Are there any more questions?
Yes, one more. Good morning. Are we allowed to use digital audio workstations to record the singers rather than only video them in case the audio quality is poor?
Is that something that will enhance the quality of the person's singing?
Well, it depends on how you use it. If you use like auto-tune, it might, but not.
Why can you use auto-tune? Is a no-no?
All of that is a no-no. Nothing to enhance the quality. Whatever we hear must be just how the person sounds.
Okay.
Miss Avery.
Yes.
I just want to also point out where that is concerned, that can be very tricky. Reason being, everybody, all the teachers from the different parishes would have had their different types of devices or different resources that they're going to use to record. I can tell you, some of these resources may not be a phone. You understand? It may be a mixer board and a program on a laptop that they have. That's their resource. Now, that resource that they're using might comes with something that once you record a voice, some plugins are there that put something on the voice that makes it sound not as authentic or as the natural would sound. So how do we deal with that?
All right. Thank you for that. Very, very.
That's the resource that they have. How do we deal with that?
They cannot use anything at all to enhance the singer's voice. Not even reverb, nothing. They may have to just revert to using their phones. That's just what it is.
Avery.
Yes.
Some of these devices some of these devices that the persons are using, they themselves don't even know, because some of them come with compressors that they don't even know that there's a compression.
That's
right,
what I was.
Right.
Well, they have to research. They will have to research. They will have to research and consult with persons who are affiliated with the equipment, because once we are handpicking the adjudicators even more than before, persons who will be able to pick up anything at all that is out, any addition. It must be just the raw sound of the person.
But can I ask though? Then what? Because I know some advanced musicians are in the room. They're talking about DAW and using these things. Perhaps the default system that I use to do a recording, say for example, an iPhone or a high Android. I don't know what number they are at. Then I would suggest that perhaps we have a small system set up, a small little space, and we test the sound. So we might that would include us doing several takes so we can hear back what it sounds like so we can redo. To kind of allude those avenues of possible using, because again, yes, I know about the compression as well, that we may have them naturally and teachers that knowing. So perhaps for future we can probably talk about some steps or some things to look out for once we're doing these types of recordings, so everybody's aware. So I know you cannot go wrong if you have a small room. You set up a nice little speaker. You get the natural audio. Use your phone. Bam, you're good, and we're good to go. So I mean, we just try to make it work as best as possible. And again, persons who don't know, we can ask, and then probably can offer some support with that concern.
All right, we're seeing Devon case.
And I can't find the hand, so please call me next.
Morning, colleagues.
Morning, Devon.
I just wanted to point out on that same point that I missed the first part of the presentation, so I was going to ask what medium we'll be using to record the pieces, because we may need to look at a standard for that. We may have to specifically outline some standards. I sent Mr. Silpot a video just now. I don't know if you'll be able to share, but while I use my phone to do the video, I'm still able to enhance the audio. So we'd have to put together some guidelines specific to that.
WhatsApp?
Yeah, I sent it in WhatsApp. So while it was done with a phone and basic simple devices, depending on the person's background, people can tweak stuff. The one I did, you will know definitely that it was tweaked, because I did it as an item for something else. But we need to look at that part. As the person mentioned, some people may use software, some may just use a simple Samsung or an iPhone and still be able to add some of those things to it.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
You can take Miss Consuelo's question while I try to access the video.
All right, Miss Connie. Just before Consuelo speaks, I just want to say, because we are on the live, we are live on Facebook and on YouTube. If you are going to be asking a question, we ask that you have a picture up or you turn your camera on, because our technical support team has just communicated to me that when this happens and the person has no picture or they have not turned the camera on, they are just seeing a blank space. And it's very off-putting for those who are watching on the live. All right, so bear that in mind. Thank you. Go ahead, Mrs. Ricketts.
Okay, I was a little late, so I don't know if you spoke about this. I have about 2 questions or 3. The syllabus, is that an interim syllabus or is the one that we have been using?
This is a new syllabus for 2021. Of course, it will have the basic background of the other one. There are similarities, but this is a 2021 syllabus. You are not to use any other but the 2021 syllabus. It outlines that there is solo work only, There's a slightly different mark scheme. There are some categories that are out by virtue of the fact that, you know, there are groups. There are some others that were taking a nosedive that are out. So ensure that you get a copy of the new syllabus.
Okay, all right. And I keep hearing about to use your phone to video. Is it okay with a video camera?
Yes.
Have a video camera, that's fine. Okay.
That's fine.
There was a third one, but okay. There was a third one, but I forget now. So that's it for now.
Type it in the chat.
Miss Avery, I did not receive the email with the information that you said you have sent on.
Right.
Tuesday.
I said it earlier. We had some technical difficulties and we were unable to retrieve the messages that were in the chat.
Okay.
Yes, but we have gone beyond and over to ensure that that does not happen again today.
All right, no problem.
I have the video. I can show the video quickly. Or you want to take a few more questions?
Yes, let's take a few more questions.
Good morning.
All right, go ahead.
Quick question. For the videos, are we supposed to do entrance and exit, or should the person be standing in place for the video?
You're muted. Sorry about that, I was muted. What works for your item? You have to see what works for your item. If walking on for the first line until you're in place on what will be your stage, could be on your veranda. If that works for your item, that is fine. If you want to begin by just standing in place, that's fine.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So Ms. Avery, you're saying it's not mandatory then?
No.
Okay.
Nicholas?
Morning.
Morning.
Yeah, I want to refer to the same thing that with the recording at the instrument, because I have a club, so I am coming from a community base. What my entry is coming from the community base. So,
and we welcome you. We welcome you.
So I'm trying to enter the music part and the dance part. So I'm trying to get but with these technologies nowadays, you have some of them that you can turn off, whatever else to enhance and turn on. I just said don't use it, because if you use it, it will be at a disadvantage.
Right. Same thing for dance. No filters. You know, you can't run it through anything that is going to enhance the look or the sound.
Right. So it's good to be a part of it, but as I say, we have to know how to manage what we use to record our ideas to send out there, because we don't want anything to disadvantage us in what we're doing.
Yes, yes. And that is so. I just want to remind everybody that we are starting at parish finals. Because of the setbacks and so on, we are trying to, let's say, catch back the cycle as much as possible. So we are starting at parish. It's very important for you to remember that, especially our old timers and our regulars. You're used to coming to auditions and say, all right, first line of the song and so on. You know, only that part, you just need to make them hear so you can sing and you know the song, and the person accompanying know the song. And yeah, no, it's not gonna be like that. You are entering at parish finals. All right, so we need to see a full presentation, full costuming, everything. It's parish finals that we are starting at. It's very important for you to remember that.
Ms. Avery.
Yes, Mr. Gordon.
There are still concerns though. The recording of performances and what Mr. Rattray had shared, which I believe I've been going on over the years, which is a very good point. The recording of a lot of teachers or leaders may not know even the use of their devices. You know, how are we going to, or how is JCDC going to reach those teachers to say whatever it is, so that they're not in that situation when adjudication process happens, right? And the whole thing about the different genres. Many leaders and teachers, I mean, they're not trained musicians or teachers, so they may not have an idea how is JCDC going to be reaching out to those teachers and leaders, you know, because this have been going on for years. It's not just now. Since COVID, that thing is years is going on. It's going on. Or the teachers coming in this thing and they don't know. They don't have what they want to be a part of the process. Just like the gentleman just said, he's a community leader and he wants his community to be involved and so on, so on, so on, so. What about those teachers who they have never done anything like this before? They just come and they hear one song and the child can sing or the children can sing and they have good voices, you know. And just like how we don't give them a chance to express themselves with those love songs, because I mean, what they know about love, as Mr. Silkwood said earlier, you know, how is JCDC, you know, going to make that difference now?
Well, every year we have workshops. And unfortunately, many persons come to the competition and they don't attend the workshops. All right, as a very good colleague of mine, Mr. Greaves always says, if you're even buying the lotto, you must read the rules, or you're going to win. And that's why this gentleman is here. I'm not seeing his name. The gentleman that just spoke, sir, from the community group. And I said,
Morrison.
Yes, Mr. Morrison. Right. He is here because he wants to enter. So he's here for the information. They have to come. There is a drive to encourage persons to enter and encourage persons to come and get the information. However, if they know that they are interested and they want to enter, they have to come to us. They have to come to us. We have parish offices in every single parish. I'm available. We have phones, we have email addresses. Just contact the JCDC, right? It's the most we can do. And those of you like Mr. Gordon, you have been in the system and been with us for so long, share with the others as well. Whatever you know, you share, right? But unfortunately, because of the time, we cannot start at audition. So persons who would come and get some sort of coaching to move on to the next round, that will not be possible for this year, right? It's just the constraints that we are facing due to what is happening, not just in Jamaica, but in the world.
Yes,
who's that? Go ahead.
May I add to that, please?
Go ahead, please.
All right. To what Mr. Gordon asked, during the workshop, especially here in Montego Bay, I oftentimes said to the teachers, build your links when you are in the workshop. Get connected with people who are very good at what they do in the competition. We're all in this together. The selfish thing doesn't really work, especially in my parish in Montego Bay. I wouldn't mind every school in Montego Bay coming out on top. If you know that you are in the parish and you are good at what you do, teachers, you can also reach out. And I oftentimes say this in the workshop. Get contact, get connect with someone. If you know there's a teacher at a particular school who is very good, and you always, he or she always done well in the competition, get connected, call, ask for some ideas, ask for some help. Sometimes I left from my workplace and go and assist other schools. Give a helping hand, give some information, what they can do to make their items better. what they can do that works, you know, to win a medal, because we are all together. I believe help each other. Teachers must work together. Not a selfish thing. You know, we're all in this and trying to kids have fun and it's all winning a medal also. You know, so I mean that's what I would like to add. So teachers, you are on the platform. Connect with some teachers that are very good at what they do. Get help. I know you may not.
Quite so. Very good, Mr. Rodney. Thank you very much for that point. You have to form links.
Yes.
All right? It's really not a lot of us, you know. We have to form links and help each other. And we learn from each other. Thank you for that point, Mr. Rodney.
Yes, ma'am.
Morning. Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Right, so
hold on, before you speak. Your hand was up?
Yes, my hand was up.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, all right, so I really wish that we had a more in-depth workshop on the videoing and that quality, because you know some teachers are gonna go all out. They might even get somebody to come and video it for them, you know, and some of us might not will not be able to, you know, get that sort of upgrade as to a person using a phone. So I'm asking, or it is natural to pick a video that has been recorded by a professional over somebody who uses it is more, I think it is more appealing. So how would you, or how do we know that that's not the case? You know, because some of us really actually don't know how to video stuff and sound and stuff like that. We might have good pieces, we might have a talented student who is very, very good, but because of us not knowing how do we know that that's not going to be the case?
Well, our team is ready to listen and decipher, to discriminate, to pick out that talent regardless of the terrible or great quality. There's a balance. Our adjudicators will be meeting and looking at the different aspects and the things that we will come up against. What I have to say is that you will not necessarily get somebody with a professional quality being selected for a gold medal. That is not so. It's not so. All right? It is better and more pleasing to view something that, you know, is professionally done, but then the talent of the person, the vocal quality, the instrumental skill, that is what will count. All right? And our judges will be able to decipher what is what. So you have no need to worry. As one said to me, it's like trying to select the better player if someone is playing on 64 key Casio and someone is playing on a full size, full keys Triniton or something like that. All right, so we will be able to decipher who is better, not necessarily because it's a professional video or if it's just a home video. All right, and I want to ask, were you on were you at the workshop on Tuesday?
Yes, I was.
Okay, so you are feeling that you want
she went through about just turning the camera horizontal. Yeah, I was there when she was talking about that.
Okay, but you feel like you would want more.
Yeah, I wanted a more in-depth, you know, because then again, you have to take in consideration if you're using a track, right? And then I know, do we still have the rule about not using any mics? Are we allowed to use mics?
No, man. Remember that you're sending in a video, you know, so you can use a mic or you don't have to use a mic. The device that you're using, you may just use that mic and, you know, from the phone or your laptop or your tablet, or you may want to set up another microphone. It's up to you.
Okay, then to strike the balance between the track playing in the background, which some of us would need to use a mic. And then if we're using accompaniment, live accompaniment, does that person have to be in the video also, or is just the singer?
If you're using live accompaniment, we are discouraging that.
You're discouraging that?
Yes, we don't want persons gathering. Next thing you decide to use a band. You're meeting up with 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 persons to rehearse the band.
Okay, I mean, I know I was. Yes. Okay, all right, get that. All right, fine. But remember, you're marking for arrangement. All right, so arrangement would require for us to build a track then?
Yes.
Yes, and then some
Mr.
person
Silpot
don't know how to
that
build a track.
Mr. Silpot
So what about
addressed that earlier. Well, whoever it is that would accompany you, you have them play it and record it. And that's your track.
Okay.
Right. Whoever it is that will play, they play just the accompaniment and they record it, and that is your track for the student to sing back with.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. I don't think it was mentioned today. It was mentioned on Tuesday. It's just a reminder that the children's gospel competition is postponed for 2021. So we have our young ones doing gospel in this competition. So we are taking class 1 to class 6 for gospel this year. All right, I'm repeating, class 1 to class 6 for gospel this year is allowed in the competition. All right.
If I may, I had my hand up. Good morning.
Morning.
I had sent an email sometime last year asking for a follow-up regarding the cancellation of last year's competition. So I'm kind of like the black sheep in all of this, because I don't know when there was a resumption or if there was. So could you just give me a full statement on what had happened regarding last year's competition? Because I know we were just about starting the music aspect of things, and we were at the rewarding stage of the speech competition and all of that. So what are the feedback on those items?
All right. I don't recall receiving an email from you. I'm not sure who you sent the email to.
I think it was Campbell, Brooks Campbell or something.
Yes. I don't recall getting your email. You received a response?
No, I did not.
All right, I'm putting my email address in the chat. You can send it to me again, all right? But I'll just say, generally speaking, that the competition was aborted. This was by order of the government of Jamaica. We had no control. We could not continue and say, boy, we have to finish festival. No. Some parishes were finished. They were already completed. They received their medals and they could close off. Some parishes were just starting. Some parishes were in the middle. Some did not even start at all. And so if the item was already rendered, then the medal would have been given out. The parish officers would do their checks and balances, and once the person had already performed and the award was written up, then they would have been given the medal or the certificate. If it is that you did not perform, you would have performed at parish and you were waiting for that date and it was after that lockdown, then nothing happens. There is nothing that we can do, right? Except the fact that there is a record that you had entered, because there is what is called a catalog. There's a music catalog, speech catalog, dance, for all the areas. We have catalogs. This records every entry, even if you just paid for the entry and you didn't turn up for auditions at all. There's a national record that is kept here. All right, so our records would say that John Brown from St. Mary and the name of the school, St. Mary High, the item, and all of that information would be there. And then there's a note that this is past the lockdown, and as a result, this person did not go further in the competition. The competition did not go any further. All right, so we could not have avoided that. That was a national crisis, it's a pandemic, and so everything was shut down. Unfortunately, some persons did not get to perform. But once you performed and you were awarded, you would have received your medal or your certificate.
Yes, I do understand. So in going forward, we are to do new items in entirety, completely new items, new songs, or if it's a solo piece?
Well, there is a rule that we have, a general rule, that once the item has not received the highest award in the competition, you can re-enter. All right, so there's no rule against that. If you had a solo work that was like the bomb and you didn't get to perform because of the lockdown, then you can re-enter that same item. There's no rule against that.
Okay, thank you.
You're most welcome. I see P. Grant, Trinity Prep.
Oh yes, thank you for acknowledging. All right, I wanted to make reference to particularly the recorder solo, which is 2 pieces. But I was looking at the syllabus that Mr. Silpat was actually showing on screen, where it said that items are from the JCDC list. So is it that we don't have own choices in that category again?
Yes, your own choice will be the Jamaican song.
Okay.
Your own choice will be the Jamaican pieces.
Right.
Right, so those on the set list will be made available to you very soon. But the own choice is the Jamaican song. It can be a reggae, it can be a mento, it can be a folk, up to you. Mento, folk, same thing.
Right, and you said the syllabus will be sent to us, that new one for 2021.
Yes. I've also sent it to our social media officer, who I believe she has already placed it online. If it's not there, it will be there soon, but it was sent to her. That will be made available to you.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. Any other hands?
Calvin making an indication.
Go ahead, Calvin.
Calvin, you don't know to use the virtual hand.
Unmute. Yes. I hear me now?
Yes, hearing you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay, I know this is music, and most people don't really say drumming is a part of music.
Yes,
they just
it
put
is.
It separate. But what it's separate or is a part of the music, same way?
It is a part of this music competition.
Okay, good. Now, the same criteria for the different genre, does it apply to drumming same way?
No, drumming has its own set. Let me see if I can bring that up for you very quickly.
I remember there are solos, Calvin.
Right. So for this year, Calvin, it's just solos. Oh, all right. Let me share very quickly.
Oh, you wanted me to go?
All right. I am host, so it's a little complicated. But Calvin, if you put your email address in the chat, we can send it to you. But for drumming, there is a particular criteria and we ensure that we
Yes.
have at least
And also,
one drumming expert on the panel. All right, because we are very particular about that. And drumming has really taken off. The last drum fest that we had in 2019 was awesome. And we were looking forward to 2020, but of course, you know, everything went a different way, right? But drumming is really, really taking.
And yes, but one of my concerns, though, people to vet the students in the schools.
Yes.
Some of the people who they choose don't understand drumming. Yes, they are musicologists, yes, but they don't understand drumming. So when when the student come the competition and they start to get confused, you know. So in my thing is that if you are sending people out, they must know something about the drumming so that at least they can pass on their knowledge to the student. Yes, for 2020, where I saw 3 persons who understand music, Mr. Philpott and Maragini, and there was one other person. Yeah, and that was good, you know. But when you send them out in the field now, they need to know, I mean, people who you have chosen to go out, because maybe a drummer cannot go, you know. So I needed to look into that. And will there be a workshop in this genre? I mean, virtual workshop where teachers in the schools must come on to and understand how to manage. All right. So that is also another concern. But some of the teachers in the schools don't understand drumming. They can do a thing or them hear something, but no, that don't give. All right. That's just my concern.
Yes, thank you very much for that. Before COVID, we had plans. I had already contacted quite a number of our adjudicators, because we have a few who are specialists in the area of drumming, and we had planned an adjudicators drumming workshop. So those persons who are quite keen, they could learn from a Maragini and a Dene Greaves and so on. We had that plan, but you know, it was not executed because of all that happened. So it is in the pipeline, and I do take your recommendation. Thank you very much. Mr. Barnett, continuing on the drumming, I see your hand up.
Good morning, Miss Avery. How are you doing?
I am doing fantastic.
Blessed morning, Mr. Silpot. Hope all is well with you as well. All right. So for me, this is one of the areas that has been receiving a lot of hits over the years. And what I must say, I really appreciate the fact that you, especially Miss Avery, you took the time out to really look at it and said to yourself that basically this needs some more attention, because basically over the years it has been overlooked. One of the categories that a lot of people normally come out to see, especially from you guys turn it into the drum fest for the national finals. For me, that is one of the most standout national finals in the JCDC. There's always a large gathering, and the competition has been getting stiffer and stiffer every year. I don't remember the gentleman who spoke before when he said that each one help one. Every year, I'm always at a workshop, and people normally approach me when they realize who I am and say they needed help. And I always offer my service to them to help them. If they can't afford to pay me, I always say, this is when I'm free, I can give a strength on that day. But a lot of them refuse. And this is where I take offense now. When I put out the materials for my students to learn, and they even go over the hours to learn those materials and come to festival and display it, you have people recording it and trying to use it back. So anytime I go festival and I see somebody recording my piece, I always ask the adjudicator to stop the piece. Because it doesn't matter what field you're in. So offer the help and they refuse it, and it's that person recording your piece, stop them. Because that's how the competition will get better. What majority of the schools are doing, they're hiring professional drummers to come in and teach. So you realize that the competition is getting more nicer, more competitive, and a whole lot more fun. And every one of the drummers are learning from each other. So if you don't want your school to learn, too bad for you, but drummers are actually there who are willing to help. Because if my school is not strong in a area, and for example, I can call Jeremy and I say, Jeremy, I need a help. Me know him not gonna tell me no. And if him call me and say, Kino, I need a help, I'm not gonna tell him no. Because I hear that he's strong in, I am weak in. And I hear that I'm weak in, he has a strong point there. So that's just my 2 cents. And honestly, I really love the direction that JCDC is heading in. And trust me, anybody that is giving JCDC the stick nowadays, they are the one that are not taking part in the workshops, and them just come festival, and when them pieces get downgraded, them complaints are the same group them will win every year win, because those are the people actually turning up to the workshops and are putting in the work. All right, so blessings and God bless and stay safe, everyone.
Thank you very much, Kino. Thanks for that.
And last question.
Yes.
We getting lunch?
No. Love him belly, you know. Yes, just to add to what Mr. Barnett has said about the recording, you are not allowed to record anybody else's performance. It is the property of the JCDC. Only the person who is on stage can give permission to someone else to record. So you are a parent, you are a teacher there, you are, you know, one of the coaches from the school. Otherwise, you are not allowed to record anybody else's performance. Please remember that. All right, we want to wrap up soon. Let's take us a few more questions. We had already taken Mr. Morrison. All right, let me lower his hand. Mr. Morrison, you spoke already? Nicholas?
I had put it back up.
All right, go ahead.
It's just to enhance a couple of things where you said that there's stuff persons not depend, but if you ask for help, you'll get it. And I must say that I am not only entering here on this level because I work with Sir Calvin at Grand Gala every year, except for this year because of COVID. So I know, and I do go out there, and the interest of me starting my dance club of my thing is somebody at Grand Gala. We're a friend, and he's encouraging me to go out there and do it. And with me have a marching band, a part of my club and all of that. I tell myself that whenever we're up again, I am willing to offer those 2 parts of my club to JCDC in whatever event that you guys have. So it goes to say that wherever you want the help, ask for the help. If you don't ask for the help, you will not get the help.
Thank you very much. Good point. Thanks for that. We can take one more question. One more question. Oh, I see what Mr. Morris looks like now. One more question. All right, if there are no more questions, we have a few persons from our parish offices across the island. Can you just say a little hello? If you're from a JCDC parish office, just give us a little shout out. Wanna come now, man, team members?
Good morning, team member Crooks. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good morning. I'm just watching and listening. I see that everything is going fine.
Thank you for joining in. Yes.
Okay.
That's Mr. Mantle and the team from the St. Anne Parish Office. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Hi, everybody. All is well?
Hi, Miss Bev. Yes, all is well so far. Thank you. You're always with us.
Yes, and I also want to congratulate you, Avery, on this effort that you continue to make sure that music remains and that persons really understand that despite the challenges that we now face, here comes an opportunity, for example, for the soloist, as it is now dubbed, to shine. And I see where you are making great efforts. And I really want to congratulate you seriously, for the efforts that you continue to make. I appreciate it. And there are challenges that we must admit that our teachers are facing, especially in rural parishes like Trelawney. So many teachers have unstable internet. I was here, and every time I see the message come up, your internet connection is unstable. Some teachers don't have not even the internet to log on. So it is a serious challenge that we face. But despite the challenges, I see where great efforts are being made by you and other subject specialists, and we appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the support. That is our parish manager from the parish of Trelawney. Thank you very much, Mrs. Edward Stewart.
Good morning.
Morning.
This is Desiree Forbes Jarrett from Trelawney.
All right, another Trelawney team member.
Yes, I just want to
Our internet went.
Sorry. I just want to say thank you for, that intrinsic motivation to really put through this workshop. And we know that our teachers will really appreciate it. We have some teachers online. They were having issues. Some were being kicked out, but they really stick it out because they try and they are now back on. So
can you believe that we still have persons joining, we still have persons joining. On Tuesday we were near to 100. We still have persons coming on.
I actually saw that, but our teachers, who are here today, they actually persevere through the challenge, and we just want to say thanks to them that they were able to join with us today again. Okay,
Happy for that. Thank you, Mrs. Forbes Jarrett. Candice?
Good afternoon, everyone. Candice Williams here from the Hanover Parish Office. Mrs. Crooks Campbell, great job. I just want to say to the teachers, the leaders, and some of our principals who are online with us today that you should not hesitate to contact the parish office if you have any questions, any queries. We are here to provide support to the music unit. And so any questions that you have, don't hesitate to reach out to us, all right? We also will send out the information as soon as we get it from the head office. So don't worry about not receiving the syllabus by 6 o'clock this evening. You will get it. You will get it. So no worries there. All right.
Thank you very much, Ms. Williams. Appreciate the support. And I see Manchester.
Hi, Candice.
Hello. Is this a team member from Manchester office? All right. We don't have a shy team member in the JCDC. We don't.
Judy saying hello to Candice.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if we have any boys and girls here with us.
Oh, before you go,
Mr.
Avery, sorry.
Yes.
I wanted to show the video from Devon, in terms of his the recording quality from the phone.
Yes, please go ahead.
I'm gonna share that real quick, for you to see. I hope you're seeing screen.
Yes, we are. All right, well done by the cases. And you see, when mother musical, father musical, sister, brother, everybody, cousin, uncle, everybody. Lovely, lovely, lovely. We enjoyed that. Thank you very much. Thanks for that. And it's a lovely way to close out for today. I want to remind you that we have another workshop. We have a workshop 1, meaning it's the same content that we will cover that we did on Tuesday, but it's a different presenter. Our presenter on Friday tomorrow is Mr. Vinton Horton. So if you have the time, please come out. If you don't get a chance, it will be on Facebook or YouTube. You can catch it. It will be there for you to go and watch. And on Monday, our final workshop will be with Mr. Denis Greaves. So thank you very much for your support. It has been wonderful. I am excited to see, I see somebody typing in the chat that they can't wait to see the items that will come up. I think it was Candice. Yes, me too. I am super excited to see what will happen. It has been great. Thank you to our presenter, Mr. Matthew Silpot, and thank you to our parish team members who joined in. Thank you to every teacher, every performer, every group leader. Thank you so very much. And do have yourselves a wonderful rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Bye, and thank you.
Miss Avery, there is a message coming from the Manchester in the chat, the Manchester segment.
All right, guys, over and out. Take care.